Hello. Um, so I came out here um, to meditate and really kind of just clear space. And while meditating, I kept I was running into a resistance. The mantra that well, I kept thinking just kind of return to breath. Um, and every time I'd try that, my mind would just wander fairly viciously. It was brutal. Complete. I felt like I was locked out of myself. And last night, um, and well, during the entire day, I kept kind of part of me kept thinking just let yourself, let your mind tell its story. And it didn't happen till last night where I was I finally kind of released my resistance to letting my mind just kind of wander and go where it felt like it needed to. Um, then, almost immediately after I released that resistance, I started thinking about this girl that I've kind of got a crush on. It's um, when that happens, a lot of your thought processes go towards that person, and I was trying to not let that happen for a long time, and then I kind of let it flow, and with that came a realization. She had invited me to go to a contact improv class, which you don't know is it's I don't know how to explain it. It's a dance essentially where you kind of put your weight into someone else, and she recommended it to me because she said it helped her develop boundaries and understand where hers were physically, and what she was okay with and what she wasn't. And it sounded helpful, for me, because boundaries are something that I've always been afraid to enforce, afraid to maintain. And part of that's due to just enmeshment trauma from childhood, being not being allowed to have a sense of self without. It's when you develop a sense of self, the primary caretaker would remove love. So you start to completely dissolve your boundaries around the people who you seek love from. And I didn't realize this was an issue when it came to romantic interests. I didn't think that it was something that causes issues, that causes problems, and I had just completely ignored this part of myself that was experiencing, or I ignored that it wasn't helpful because I thought that that was how you loved. I didn't realize that you should set boundaries with those you care about. Um, so, yeah, I was thinking about the contact improv, and I was kind of just letting my mind tell its story. And during that course, I realized that contact improv would be pretty much pointless if she was my partner in contact improv. I wouldn't develop any boundaries because in that moment I realized whoa, I don't have boundaries with this person. I just would, assuming that just have faith that they wouldn't violate them, or if even if they did, like the boundaries don't exist. There's nothing to enforce, and there's nothing to like prevent them from just taking advantage of me in whatever way. So I realized, and then in that moment, I was like, wait a minute. I don't think that's right. You shouldn't just be free to manipulate. You should have your boundaries with everybody. And I think expecting that respect, even from those you care about, will probably earn you way more respect. Not having boundaries is probably something that's undesirable, which is it's kind of a hard pill to swallow, that, you had created this state where you let people do whatever they want with you purely so that they'll love you. But really, it makes you harder to love. And oh my gosh, so that's my project right now, is I want to start, developing boundaries, and even bring those boundaries to relationships, which had never occurred to me. So, gosh, it's so pretty here. It's crazy. The ground hurts my feet, but that's regardless. Alright. Well, yeah. Thank you guys.